Happy May the 4th, everyone. Today is Star Wars Day. May the Force be with you. Today, we will be learning about unit rates with a Star Wars theme. So first, let's talk about what a rate is. A rate is a ratio that compares two different units. For example, in this rate, we say 25 miles per hour. You're comparing distance and time. $4 for each ticket. Here you're comparing the cost of something to the item, so dollars and tickets. 33 likes per TikTok video. These are two different things. We're talking about likes and we're talking about videos. Or if I asked you how many dogs there are compared to cats in a pet shop, you could say there are 2 dogs for every 3 cats. In all of these examples, we're showing you a ratio comparing two completely different things. Here, you see a blue lightsaber and a red lightsaber. So let's say we have 4 blue and 3 red. Now, although they are both lightsabers, they're different colors, so we could say that these are different things. If I were to ask you what is the ratio of blue lightsabers to red lightsabers, you could simply say there's 4 blue to 3 red. You could also represent this with a fraction like so. There's 4 blue lightsabers to every 3 red lightsabers. Unit rate. A unit rate is a special type of rate that compares a quantity to exactly 1 unit of another quantity. So to sum that up, there needs to be a 1 in this situation. So if you look right now, we have 3 white stormtroopers for every 1 red Sith trooper. So that was an easy one to set up. That's a unit rate because we have a 1 in the denominator. Anytime we have a fraction representing a unit rate, there needs to be a 1 in your denominator. So if I were to then change this up, and I still want you to give this to me as a unit rate, right now you see that there are 4 white stormtroopers for every 2 red stormtroopers. That's not set up as a unit rate. So we need to simplify this fraction, which could be done quite easily. All you need to do is divide both of those by 2, and you could tell me that there are 2 white stormtroopers for every 1 red stormtrooper, or for every 1 red Sith trooper. Now let's take a look at the type of questions you may see concerning unit rate. The table below shows the price of movie tickets for The Rise of Skywalker. You see that we're talking about children tickets here, and they show you that 1 movie ticket costs $6. So that right there is your unit rate. If they asked you for the unit rate for the movie ticket cost, you would simply say that it cost you $6 for 1 ticket. Because there is a 1 in the denominator here, this is a unit rate. Now the question that I'm going to ask you is how much does 4 child tickets cost? So by simply looking at this, you could notice that 1 times 6 gives me a cost of $6. So the cost of 2 tickets was just 2 times 6, or $12. The same for 3 times 6 tells us that 3 tickets cost $18. So if I'm looking for 4 child tickets and I want to know how much that costs, you really need to multiply it by 6 to see that 4 child tickets would cost you $24. Here is the same situation, but now we're talking about adult tickets. It's only a little bit more difficult because the price involves a decimal, but you can see if I ask you what is the unit rate for an adult ticket, because this is where we see 1 ticket, the unit rate would be $9.50 for every 1 ticket. So the question I'm going to ask you now is how much does 3 adult tickets cost? So since the unit rate is $9.50, to solve for 3 tickets, all we need to do is multiply $9.50 times 3. Remember that the decimal point is here, so when we're done, we will need 2 decimal points behind in our answer. So 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 5 is 15, so we'll put the 5 and the 1. 3 times 9 is 27, plus 1 more is 28. And don't forget that your decimal point goes right here. So the cost of 3 tickets would be $28.50. So being that today is May the 4th, and they, get so excited. May the force be with you. Fortnite has come back with its Star Wars themed skins and all kinds of stuff. So this table here shows you, and I'm sure these are not exactly the true values, but just go with it with me. So this table is telling you that these Star Wars skins that they've put back into your item shop cost 800 V-Bucks for each Star Wars skin. So the unit rate here would be, for every skin, it's cost you 800 V-Bucks, or it would look like this: 800 over 1. So what I'm asking you now is to write an equation to correctly show the equivalent ratios that can be used to find the cost of 3 skins. Sounds really confusing, but remember, an equation is simply a math sentence that has an equal sign. Now, because we don't know, or the table doesn't show you yet what the cost of 3 skins would be, we would simply represent that like this: x over 3. Because on the bottom here, if you look, the 1 represents the number of skins. So on the bottom here, 3 skins. It cost us 800 V-Bucks for 1 skin. So we put an X here because we don't know how much it costs for 3 skins. That would be your equation. Now, if I wanted to solve that and I asked you how much would it cost for 3 skins in the item shop, you would simply just multiply 800, because that's how much it costs for 1, times 3, to discover that the cost of 3 skins is 2,400 V-Bucks. But please be aware that this is how you would represent that in an equation. So all you're doing here would be 1 times 3 equals 3. And whatever you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top. So 800 times 3 would let you realize that this X would be represented with 2,400 V-Bucks. Last set of questions here. You see Darth Vader in the bottom corner. Not sure if you knew this, but Darth Vader has been played by various actors. Because his face is not seen, I read up on something that said there have been almost, or at least 14 different actors that have played him throughout the various films. So the rest of this I've made up, but let's pretend 3 different actors play him during each film. At this rate, how many different actors will play Darth Vader in 12 films? So it's important that you see here it says at this rate. That means we could use the unit rate of, for every film, there's been 3 different actors, or there's 3 actors per every 1 film. That would be our unit rate. We could use that to then figure out how many actors have there been in 12 films. So to solve this, you would see that to get from 1 to 12, you're really just multiplying 1 times 12. Because this is an equivalent fraction, to solve, all we need to do is multiply the top by the same number, which is 12, because whatever you do to the bottom, you do to the top, to find out that 3 times 12 is 36, letting you know that in 12 films, there will have been 36 different actors playing Darth Vader. All right, same kind of question here, but now we're going to be working backwards. What if I told you there have been a total of 48 different actors that have played Darth Vader? How many films have there been? So we're going to use that same unit rate of 3 actors for every 1 film. To now we're going to figure out how many films have there been if there have been 48 actors. Because now we have to work backwards, we're going to divide. 48 divided by 3. 3 goes into 4 once. Subtract 3. Get 1. Bring down the 8, and 3 goes into 18 6 times. So that means there have been 16 films. If you wanted to check yourself, you could see that 1 times 16 will give you 16, and 3 times 16 will give you 48. Either way, you now would know the answer to this question. If there have been 48 actors that have played Darth Vader, there have been 16 films if we're following that same rate. All right, may the force be with you all. Happy May 4th. If you have any questions, please feel free to message me.